Hi guys. Today on Reality Wrap, we have a lot to talk about. There's some Real Housewives of Beverly Hills news.
What do you do? I'm a housewife.
There is The Bachelor and all the juicy stuff that happened at the tell-all.
I wanted us to be good.
And we're diving a little bit into some 90 Day Fiancé tell-all news as well.
And what did you say?
Take care, peace sign emoji.
Shawnee, are we kicking it off with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? I think we should.
Might as well. It's ended, so
Yeah, so
it ended.
we
I have to say, I was kind of sad last night to not be able to tune in.
Shawnee, normally I'm trying to watch Beverly Hills and Married at First Sight at the same time, so I'm switching between commercials, and I'm switching, and I'm like, what is happening right now on Bravo?
Right, I was looking for like what Housewives is on. It wasn't Housewives. It was like Top Chef, and I was like,
yes. I'm like, why is Top Chef? It was weird, but Beverly Hills.
okay, Top Chef, but like,
yeah. Listen, okay. Beverly Hills is over, and now we have some news that Anne-Marie Wiley will not be returning for a second season. I'm not surprised. No one is really surprised at this.
Literally no one is surprised.
Because people were calling for her to be fired from like episode 3. I will say though, I admire Anne-Marie Wiley because she made a statement, and here's what I like. She didn't do the Housewives song and dance about, oh, I'm not rich. She was like, I was not asked to come back, and I'm disappointed.
Right. That takes a lot of guts, and I think a lot of the Housewives don't do it because their egos won't allow them to admit that they weren't wanted back. They would rather quit than be fired because they don't want to admit that they weren't wanted back.
Right. So when I read it, I was like, oh, and then I felt a little tinge of like, oh. And she was like, listen, I'm disappointed, and I had planned to show this part of my life next season and whatever. And I like that she went out just saying, listen, I would have loved to come back. It's not going to happen. All the best. I like the way she exited with some poise and some dignity and wasn't pretending like,
Right. I mean, you have to give her props for that.
Yeah, I do.
She couldn't just bring it this season so that they would have to have her back.
Yeah. I think though, I remember one of the housewives had said that what they do when they're fired is Bravo allows them to put out their statement. So they can say whatever, they can word it however they want to word it. Which is why they usually say, I've decided to step away, or I have decided that I'm not
I've involuntarily decided to not be getting this check next year.
Just giving up all this money and all this airtime because I know.
Right. And the sponsors and the social media followers.
And the followers and everything that comes with that. So I respect her for that. I'm not going to miss Anne-Marie. When I was reading her statement, though, I realized that she really was at a disadvantage because we were all saying, why did she come in so late into the season? She's saying they were 6 weeks into filming when she came in, and she didn't, and they found her, asked her to be on the show, and she came in 6 weeks into filming, and which is why we saw her so late.
That makes sense. I mean, they probably realized 6 weeks in that the show was...
They needed something. Yeah.
And then she didn't help it. So
she did not help at all. And she was saying that there's a lot of other content that she filmed, but it wasn't shown. I will say though, I think for Anne-Marie, I think what sealed her fate was the reunion, because the reunion is a time for you've watched the season back, seen your and you reflect and say, all right, she didn't make amends with Sutton, she didn't make amends with Crystal, she doesn't really have any other friends on the show, she didn't win over the viewers at the reunion. So after that, I was like, all right, that's kind of this is your last chance to win us over, and she didn't win us over.
She didn't do it. Right. So, that makes so much sense.
And I hear filming is going to start in April, so I guess if they're bringing another newbie, that newbie is going to also come in a little late. If filming is going to start in like, a week or two. I don't know what they're doing.
And hopefully they know what they're doing. Like, I feel like if they told her she's not coming back, they must have an idea of who's going to come in, you know?
Yeah.
Hopefully they get somebody good. There's so many like actual celebrities that they could bring in to just spice it up. And they need to do that.
I really feel like they could find. I will say though, even though that's what a housewives is now, because I'm saying I like when they have an actual friend We know now they're
Right.
just bringing in random people and claiming this is Kyle's
They do
friend.
that for all of the Housewives
Yeah,
shows, though.
it's not a friend group anymore.
Right.
But it
I
was
mean, Portia gave that away when she didn't know that girl and then tried to.
left with her friend's husband.
Right. I don't know that girl. And then turns around and says she's never like made up anything to be on the show ever. Well, you sure did. Make up being friends with her. Like,
Portia's friend was her label when Fallon came on the show. Speaking of Portia and friend, this is a great transition into the drama happening with Portia and Nene. So apparently, Portia and Nene are beefing. And Nene is being very shady. And I'll tell you what Nene did. So Nene came online earlier this week and she said that she and Portia got cast to do like a stint on RHOBH, which is a Netflix show with Kim Fields, who used to be on, Atlanta. So they were supposed to be on. Nene shows up. Turns out Portia told production she doesn't want to work with Nene. And her and Nene are cool as far as they're concerned. We're concerned. They're good now.
like, why would she do that?
So as you can imagine, Nene was properly peeved. She came online. She was talking about it.
Portia did not show up to work and had said that she did not want to work with me.
Next thing I know, Shawnee, Nene is on a double date with Simon and Simon's new girl.
Okay, Nene.
Nene posted the picture.
She knows how to turn the screws, right?
Yanni's hanging out with Simon. I can't change this relationship with that man.
Like, wow.
Shawnee, Nene posted that little date picture like about 3 different, like, when it expires, you post it again. We get it. So she was like, okay, if we're not friends, I mean, it was just insane. I was like, Nene.
I mean, petty all around. So,
but listen, if you're saying we're not friends, then I guess we're not friends. So, But that's just the Housewives tea, and now we are moving into the Bachelor.
Okay, yep, my time to shine. Huh?
Your time to shine. I did watch
Let's just say that we're exactly where we expected to be. He sent Rachel home. Rachel is gone. We're down to the final 2. I'm not really sure, honestly, how Rachel got to the final 3 in the first place. She's a nice girl.
I was like, maybe I'm missing something when I saw Rachel
like
in the
he
top.
kept her around, like, kind of like how Gary did for the Golden Bachelor, like keep her around so he has an easy like send home. I don't know,
like not a tough choice between the 3 that he would have.
Right. Like, because he even said, like, when it gets down to it, I like you, I enjoy my time with you, you make it easy, but I'm not in love with you. He straight up told me, I am just not, and I don't have those feelings for you.
And for Rachel to stay over Maria shocked me.
Yeah,
just because
because she was kind of icy to him. I mean, she deserved to go when she went, even though I know that he liked her better. Because she was pulling that whole like, I don't know if I can take you to meet my family thing with him,
right?
Prior to the family
meeting.
Like, yeah. So, I mean, I feel like she deserved it for pulling back on him like that.
But then he did meet her family.
He did. But just the fact that she did it, just like, do you not know what
just
show
rubbed him the wrong way.
Every season, like, you want me to like tell you I love you now? Like, there's 4 people left. What are you doing? It was just weird.
Rachel being in the top 3 just confused me so much. I was like, I didn't see any chemistry between them. It was so.
I mean, if Lexi hadn't self-eliminated, Rachel wouldn't have been in the top 3. There's no way. I think the top 4 would have been Maria, Lexi, Daisy, and Kelsey. But she eliminated herself. I think Rachel was just kind of like the fill-in.
Yeah.
Sorry, your feelings are lovely, but I never saw it.
I saw zero chemistry between them. It was so odd. I'm like, maybe I missed, because I missed that episode or 2. So I'm like, maybe I missed that date where they're really,
I mean, then again, a lot of people are talking about how they missed, like, where did Kelsey come from? That
is true. Kelsey just came out of nowhere to me.
I went back and started rewatching the season from season 1 a couple of days ago. And when he sat down with her to talk to her a couple of times, like that scene where she sat down and told him about her mom dying, if you actually pay attention, knowing how far she gets, I could see I could see it. I think it's just a matter of like at that point there was just so many people and we were so not focused on who
her. Because we were focused on
Right.
Daisy and Maria and the drama and Leah and all of those that got
Right.
eliminated.
I think that's what happened is it just got overlooked, but it was definitely there. The chemistry was there.
And
So-
also probably got cut because they gave us so much footage of the drama that probably a lot
Right.
of those moments with her
That too. That
got
too.
cut. I will say though, Kelsey had me cracking up and annoyed because tell me why this girl is leaving this man a note saying we need to talk. Whenever
I know.
I need to talk to somebody, it's because I'm breaking up with you. That is my
Oh,
life.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Like if we need to talk, it's to tell you it's over.
Yeah, we need to talk is always ominous. I feel like that was producer driven
Yes.
for ratings and for drama so that they could all be like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
And then they left it. They left the episode
Isn't
hinging on that.
Like every season, I feel like there's a we need to talk note like every season or some iteration of it. Like there's always a note or some like last minute knock.
Joey was having a heart attack. How this man did not faint, worrying about this. We need to talk. I felt
He's
so
a great
bad.
actor.
Joey was, oh my gosh, I wonder what. And then Kelsey goes to him and just like, I just want to tell you that I really that I miss you. What did she even say? Nonsense. What did she say, Shawnee?
Honestly,
Like, what are you wasting my time telling me this for?
right? I just need you to know that you have to pick me,
I
Joey.
just need you to know that I missed you. Ma'am, this could have been a phone call. Just press
Right?
the number 2 in the hotel and you would have gotten Joey and said, I miss you, and hang up the phone. What do we do? Joey was like,
It's all for drama. It made for a lot of ratings. I mean, everybody was
Right.
like so worried and
I was like, Kelsey, ma'am, stop.
silly.
But also the tell-all. The women tell-all. Let's get into that drama.
That was juicy. I've watched it a couple times now, and I have to say kudos to specifically Maria, but all of them really for hugging it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. I
After
do.
all of that, to
I
like
do.
squash it, I'm too petty for that. You come at me like that, we're not hugging anything out. Like, just stay away from me.
No, you would. The minute for me, the minute somebody apologizes, even if they don't, but the minute it's like it's over for me. I'm done. It's forgiven. I've forgotten it. I like that Maria got to say everything that she was feeling because I think watching back the season and seeing even some of the confessionals, and she
Right,
was
that
like,
she- right.
"What?" You know, like
She commented about it. She put an Instagram story up about it several weeks ago, talking
Mhm.
about, I'm seeing things that I didn't know happened too.
right.
Wow.
So I'm glad that she got to say what she wanted to say, got it out, let you know this is not okay, and ultimately said, you know what, let's squash this. But after she at least got to acknowledge that, listen, this was wrong what you did, it's not okay, and then we can move on. And poor Leia. How is Leia was just in over her head. She
Mhm.
was, because persons were there with their Queen Maria signs, their Team Maria.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah.
audience were what? Meanwhile, I was home screaming too, like Mara.
I mean, if you can't tell that Bachelor Nation loves Maria, honestly, after all that, I feel like if they don't give her Bachelorette, it's going to be a riot.
We're taking it to the streets, Shawnee. Get your placards because we're taking it to our respective streets.
I mean, I think that Daisy would do fine.
Yeah, I was
think
looking
Maria
at
is the
Daisy.
one that they want.
I was looking at Daisy after because I was thinking Daisy's gonna bore it. She's adorable though. She's so sweet though. Bless her. She's adorable. I will say. I was like, oh, she's sweet.
She's super sweet.
She's super. I get it. I get the hype. But I'm thinking Maria is gonna be spicy. But I was looking at Daisy and I'm thinking she would make a good bachelorette. She would.
Right. She
Yeah,
would.
she
She'd be very
would.
sweet. It would be like a girl Joey. Like,
Yes.
or
Very
as, you know.
understanding and sweet and
Right.
tell me more, darling. And
Right.
by the way, also everybody needs to put some money in a little tip jar for Joey's therapy because he's gonna need a lot after all of this that everybody
Why do you
unloaded on this
say
guy.
that?
They've
Why?
unloaded so much on this guy. It's intense. My mom, my upbringing, this person died, my illness. No, that's
Oh,
heavy.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you see the interview that I had with Reality Steve? And we talked about
What's
that.
some of it?
It feels like they've gone like, I mean, they've always had them have like a thing that they have to tell them about or whatever.
Yeah.
But this year was like
It
the year
wasn't
of trauma.
true.
It was trauma after trauma after, and then trying to one up each other's trauma. Like, I almost died. I have this health condition. My mom died.
I
My
mean,
dad.
it was just a lot. But when I heard it, I was like, this poor guy. You know, and with the cameras and he's already like in a very intense sort of situation. We're gonna get Joey a therapist for like a year at least to just kind of.
I mean, maybe they should do that. I mean, they should do that anyway.
I'm hoping that should be a thing now for reality TV people, like therapists on set all the time.
Or just access, just if you're cast, just access to a therapist, no matter what.
Shawnee, did Sydney ever admit that she lied? I'm trying to remember if she ever admitted that.
She
even
took
when
to her
they're
guns and was just like, no, you were a bully. Like,
even when they're replaying the clips, and you know, if Maria had said all those things, they would have found it. And and we're still seeing it. And I just feel like Sydney is Sydney. That this is who she is. Ultimately, she's one of those girls who just and you know, you stay far away from those people. But I'm glad they all made up and
I'm sure that Maria made up with her so that they could stop the drama, and she's still not gonna. It's not like they're gonna be hanging out.
No, I think they made up because they realized that the world is Team Maria, and we're gonna get on this train.
Right. Like, stop some of the hate a little bit, right?
Because remember, when you're filming in your little mansion, you don't know what's happening when it starts airing, right? You don't know how we're gonna react.
Well, Sydney said that she feels like she got a really unfair edit, and I mean, did she though? I don't know.
I mean, also, edit means that they've taken what you did still and spliced it and did whatever, but you still did it, unless it's an AI.
True, but you have to remember too that we're talking about like 12 and 15-hour days of filming, days on days on days, giving them alcohol. They're exhausted, they're hungry, they're drinking.
This sounds terrible. Where's
not
Bethany?
gonna be on my best behavior either.
Yeah. No, listen, I think I will say this. I think ultimately though, it kind of shows who you are at your core. When when you're in these situations, everybody doesn't resort to lying about people and doing all of that. Even when we can say, all right, she had a bad day because of whatever. Ultimately though, if this is a pattern, then this is a pattern. No. After 2 or 3 times, this becomes a pattern, and this is
I mean,
the personality.
It was a lot.
Right? So
a lot. But again, though, keep in mind when they had those confessionals and they were all about Maria every week, and Maria's evil and Maria this and gunning for Maria. Well, remember that they were probably sitting in that confessional for 3 or 4 hours.
And probably were asked about every single person, and they picked out the Maria.
Right. And then they pick out those sound bites and string them all together. And we're over here like, whoa, like what is wrong with this girl? And they're like, well, they asked me about Daisy and Lexi and
probably she said some good things about Maria up until that point.
Very likely. But, again, Mari Pepin was talking about Frankenbiting and tearing those sound bites into pieces and making it more dramatic than it is. So we really have to take a lot of it with a grain of salt. This is entertainment.
Right.
So y'all stop sending hate to Cindy. Just stop.
But also, as a grown adult, this has to be kids watching these shows. Because as a grown adult,
people sending hate,
Johnny, as a grown adult, going on somebody's page and saying you must die. These
are grown adults. I've seen some of the messages from these people. These are real
insane to me.
It is insane. Well, I mean, it's insane enough that the Bachelor had to stop and take a moment and say something about it, and they're right because
racist comments because was saying that she's been getting written at her family.
People were privately messaging me, just hateful stuff.
I've talked to a few reality stars that have said it's insane the amount of hate mail, death threats.
People are wild.
Reaching out to their jobs and trying to get them fired.
Yes.
What is wrong with you? So that needs to stop.
How much time do you have on your hands that you're calling a person you don't know, calling their job? That is insanity, and you need therapy. That is insanity.
You need more than therapy.
You need to never watch TV again. Also, because you don't know what's happening. You need to stop watching. Get off the internet. Get off TV. Go
Right.
off the grid and get your life together.
Like have an understanding that these people, even though it's reality TV and they're using their real name and their real likeness,
Mhm.
a lot of this stuff is edited together for like entertainment value.
And also,
And it's
they're in
not
these
real.
and they're in these intense situations with cameras in their face and lights in their face and 10 million people behind.
And people who are experts at getting them to do crazy
Telling them
things.
what to say, what to do, when to say, what not. Yeah, guys, at this point. We
Get a
need.
grip.
Do we not know by now that reality TV is not reality? Do we not
Right.
know that by now?
It
That is,
hasn't been real in years.
it has not been real in decades. Like, stop it now, guys. Enough. Pull it together. Oh, it's crazy.
When you get these people that are miserable in their own lives behind a computer thinking
Yes.
that they're anonymous and they can get away with it.
That's the problem. They're not looking at these people as people. They're just seeing the character on screen, and they don't think that this person can be hurt, can be
They
depressed,
don't see them
can
as
be.
human. Right.
It's
Right.
It's insane. Yeah, and it has to stop. It's insane. It really is. Do you want to talk about? Did you watch The Valley?
I did. I watched it twice after you told me to watch it.
Okay.
I watched
What
it. the
did you
first time.
think of it?
I watched it the first time because you told me to watch it, and then I watched it the second time because I was like, that was it. I hope that because it's the first episode and they're just introducing people that maybe something will happen. Like,
I love it. It is my new Pump Rule. I feel like, by the way, The Valley was created to take the place of Pump Rules. Because remember, Pump Rules was about to be
yeah, I could
canceled.
see that, but I just
But Shawnee, here's why.
it was so boring.
Everybody on the show are also friends with the Pump Rules people.
Right.
So, and Shawnee, let us give the editors credit for that seamless transition from Vanderpump Rules into The Valley. Let us give that editor a raise, because Jax is like having lunch with the Toms. And Jax is having lunch and Jax says, all right, I gotta go. And then Jax walks over, sits in the couch in the confessional and just continues the conversation. I was like, what? Love that transition.
That was snappy.
That was cute.
But still, I'm just waiting. I mean, we're gonna need some drama. And I realize that this is the first episode. They're introducing everybody, letting us know who's on it, what they're doing, what their life is.
Shawnee,
Next week, I need some fire.
Shawnee, the minute you see these people, first of all, there's Kristen is on the show. Kristen is there.
Yeah.
You know there's gonna be drama. if Kristen
I mean,
is there.
Jax is there too. It's gonna happen.
Shawnee, but also the minute I see the dynamics between the couples, I know it's gonna. Keep in mind, 2 of these couples have already divorced. One announced their divorce last week before the show premiered, and then Jax and Brittany are separated. So we're gonna see how that one into that.
Right. I mean, that's good. That'll be good. I don't think Jax and Brittany will stay apart.
I don't think so either. Brittany's gonna go back to Jax. We know this.
They need each other for fame.
Brittany's gonna go back to Jax. I don't know. She's gonna go back to Jax. I will say, for me, I think because I had such low expectations is why I liked it. But it felt like I just want to see fresh people, new people, fresh storylines. I'm sick of Vanderpump Rules, to be honest.
Oh, I'm over Vanderpump Rules.
I think because
they beat that Tom and Ariana and Raquel thing to death. I'm so done with it.
That's why I liked it. I feel like finally some new storylines, some new people. So that's what it felt like for me, especially after transitioning right after Vanderpump Rules into it. I think that's why I'm just happy to watch something new, Shawnee. We watch the same thing. I'm just happy, honestly.
I don't blame you. I mean,
and I
would say it's more interesting to me than Vanderpump Rules right now. Absolutely. But I'm just saying that they need to give it some meat. Like I want some
I think because they're just
only the premiere
to them. That's why. But I've been reading the reviews and everybody's like pleasantly surprised. I was like, okay, it's not just me. People are like, oh, I'm surprised. Because as I said, our expectations were down to the floor.
I think that it's gonna take off. I hope.
Yeah.
If it does, it'll be great. And Vanderpump Rules is in trouble because
Vanderpump Rules, I feel, is gonna get one more season to smash out this Tom Sandoval thing.
Maybe.
And then we need to move on. Even Sheena, I was watching an interview with Sheena today, and she was saying that before the whole Sandoval thing, it was about to be cancelled. And
Oh, wow.
so, yeah.
That
Sean, there was
gave
no
it
time
life,
for them to
huh?
go. Yeah.
It is time. Nobody's interested anymore in a bunch of actor wannabes that wait
They're do-
tables.
and so they're doing their best and we're getting it, but I don't know what else outside of this, what else do they have to give us? They're gonna have another season where they're because Tom is not fully in with the group yet. There's some issues going on. So we can get another season of it. They're gonna give us another season of it
Yeah.
with them try to see who Tom is gonna be friends with. Because if it ends now, it's gonna feel a little abrupt.
Right.
Just because of where he stands with the group.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I think after next season is when we can just bid goodbye. And I think they're going to bring some of the persons over on the Valley because Sheena was on the Valley and Lala. I think a lot of them we're going to see them over on.
That wouldn't surprise me. Like anybody who has a good story might get a couple, or they'll get a season.
And we
or
know
two.
Sheena is, we know Sheena is gonna be there. I was like, did we have to see Sheena in the first? I love Sheena, but did we have to see Sheena in the first episode? Sheena is solidifying her spot. No, Sheena is like, listen, this is my backup. If Van
Backup plan. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it does make sense.
Yeah. And one of the girls, she's best friend. She was like, Sheena is best friends with everybody. She was like, no, I don't remember which girls because I don't really know them yet. But she was saying one of the couples, she's best friends with one of the wives on it. So you already know Sheena is gonna.
It'll happen, right. I mean, okay.
I get it. Something to do, something to. I'm also loving Summer House.
Give them something to go to. I haven't watched Summer House.
It's good this season. There's two guys that are new and fresh and fun. I like it. And then we're gonna see the breakup with Carl and Lindsay coming, how that's going. And Lindsay's terrible. And no, we're all siding with Carl because Lindsay's making me like
Carl
Carl.
was the bad guy. What happened?
What happened is we saw how it all played out, and now you're making me like Carl.
Oh,
You making me like Carl is upsetting me, Lindsay.
right? How dare you?
Like, how dare you? All right, so we're gonna get to the 90-Day Fiance tell-all before time runs out. I watched the tell-all, but I really want to talk about the inevitable which happened, and it is that Jamal and Veronica are over.
If he hurts me, it, could crush me.
Big shocker.
I don't know why Veronica felt that they weren't gonna break up. I don't know why they were together to begin with. By the way, Veronica said Jamal broke up with her in a text message and just gave her the peace sign.
Take care and then a peace sign emoji.
Yeah. Oh God, I want to do that.
I love a good peace sign. I love a good peace sign. Like when I'm done talking, I'm like, I will say peace out and put the peace sign at the end. So it just cracked me up so much. And I'm like, Veronica, you're beautiful and smart and wonderful. Why did you think this 18-year-old guy, I know he's not 18, but I'm being dramatic.
He's young.
He's young. Why on earth did you think this is going to be some long-term commitment? Why? No.
I don't think she did. I think that Jamal was her easy way to do single life, get him involved. So now they're both pulling a paycheck, play around, make a story and go with it. That's what I think it was. I don't think that any of this was ever serious.
I don't think that for Veronica. I think for Jamal, he was, yes, all of what you said. I think for Veronica, because even when you were watching last year, Veronica was so giddy and it was like...
Are you sure she wasn't just really a good actress?
No. Nobody, I feel like Veronica really liked him, was really hoping this would work.
I mean, no offense to Jamal because he's not a bad looking guy.
No,
but
he's a cutie pie. He's adorable.
Young.
He's just not somebody, like if you're at the stage where Veronica is, where she keeps saying she wants to settle down and be married, this is not the person you choose. Veronica doesn't seem to me like a person who, or maybe back in the day, she's not I just want to have fun in this relationship. She's not that girl. She's a serious, we're doing this kind of girl. And the problem is you can't do that with a guy like Jamal, at least not for the next 10 years. And so she said she got hurt, which we knew was going to happen. She was like, I'm going to be very honest. It broke my heart. Like, I can tell that you see, if we both agree that this is just a fun thing, Shawnee, sure. If they have that agreement, all right, when it ends, it ends. But you can tell that for her, she was hopeful that it would.
Yes, but
And
still,
even if not so quickly, even if it was gonna end, at least give them a little 2-3 years so it feels like, you know, we knew it was gonna happen, but at least we'd be like, that lasted longer than we thought.
right.
You know,
No,
at least.
it's like their agreement ended at the end of the season and contract is over. And
Well, there goes that. I mean,
right,
you know, and Tim and Jamal had another blow up.
of course.
And I don't know what these two are fighting about at this point. I think people don't like Veronica and Tim's relationship. I think they're too involved in each other's relationship, and their significant others are just don't get it. Yeah, I think that's what it is. They've said it. They're significant because Tim's girl and him have broken up too. So she and Jamal were there on the couch cussing off Tim and Veronica. So it was her and Jamal against Tim and Veronica. And it was this whole thing. Like the exes, it was wild.
Veronica and I know we talk about each other. It's a bond, number one, that
It's stupid.